I'm not going to throw it to you, but there you go. Anyways, hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario. Lily, you are getting real messy with that, aren't you? My goodness. But welcome to another episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups here. I'm your host, Mr. Mario 2011. This here is my dog, Lily, who, we just gave her a bath. We gave her a new flea collar. She is looking nice and clean right now. And you know what? She ended up cleaning up all the mess of food. All right, cool. Anyways, for those who do not know, this is a series I do here on my second channel. If you want something that is more related to video game console modding and all that fun stuff with a bit more editing, a lot more editing actually, you can check out my main channel, Mr. Mario 2011, down below, linked in the description of this video. Now, this is my series where it's on my second channel, and I kind of just show just different video game related pickups that I've ended up getting from garage sales, game stores, thrift shops, yard sales, whatever it might be. So I've ended up getting a lot of stuff here, thankfully, and this is going to be the last episode of the year. Don't worry, it's not gonna be like the last episode or anything. No. Just the last episode of the year, which I even thought of, maybe pushing this to next year, but no, this is gonna be some holiday pickups here, as well as just some like regular stuff here as well too. Either way, we hang out here with Lily. I end up giving her some treats, and let's see if I could sentence you over to the bed. Lily, can you go to bed? Oh, okay. Well, you just want to like sit and stuff. Okay, come here, Lily. Come here. You are good at like navigating around objects. Thank goodness. All right, cool. There we go. So you'll just kind of hang out there, and then we're just going to kind of sit on the ground here and cover what we ended up picking up this past, few weeks or so from the time this is uploaded. So let's see, how do I want to do this? There's been a few things. There's been a few like Black Friday, Cyber Monday related sales. Also just some like other cool deals and just other events that I've gone to as well too. Lily, just go ahead, sit down. Just lay down. You want to lay down? Just go to your bed. Go to your bed. Go to your bed. Okay, you'll eventually do that. It's fine. I'm not being like stern with her. So either way, let's go ahead and just kind of get into this all here from left to right if I can best do that. So first of all, I ended up getting a few games for the Switch. Let's go ahead and cover this. Almost all of these were Black Friday related deals over here in the US. So first of all, as you can see, this is the Atari 50th anniversary collection. Now, I actually really wanted this game. I saw it come out. I did want it. Lily, you are eyeing this. Okay. I really wanted this game when it came out, but I said, you know what? It's coming out pretty close to Black Friday. Just in case it goes on sale, let me go ahead and wait. So it wasn't that much of a discount, but typically this is $40. I ended up paying $30 for it brand new. So, well, $30, not $34. So, end up paying $30 for this. I was pretty happy with it because, again, it was a game that I did legitimately want, and I got a little bit of a discount on it. Here was another game that about the same thing. I actually, funny enough, years ago, I had a pre-order for it from Best Buy through Gamers Club Unlocked. This Bayonetta 3, of course. I had a pre-order for it through Gamers Club Unlocked, so I had this pre-order set to $48. Now, some kind of thing ended up happening, and this ended up getting like, I had to like call up Best Buy at one point, and they had to like reapply the discount on there because I lost the discount, and they ended up just canceling my order, and I never noticed until the game came out, and I noticed I wasn't getting a game. So I did not get Bayonetta 3 on release. However, again, one of those games I said, you know what, I have a bunch of other games I'm playing right now. I think I'm just going to wait a little bit, and I'm going to wait on this. And it did go on a slight sale as well, too. So for a pretty new game, this was $45 from Amazon, which, again, I was happy with. Right here, end up getting Capcom Fighting Collection, of course, on Switch yet again. This one is from Best Buy, and I did have to pay the Switch tax on this. It was a little bit more for Switch, but this was $25. I believe it's like a $40 game, I want to say. So, oh, you're going to lay it down over there. All right, cool. See, I paid $25 for this. I think the regular versions that were on disc were $20, but, didn't mind one day on Switch there. There was a store that some friends and I ended up going to pretty recently where it's kind of like a bit of a, I guess, Amazon scratch and dent store. I'm not sure how much you can, I don't know what else to really call it. The way I can best describe it is it's a store where they get not only returned products or bad products from Amazon, and maybe not even bad stuff. It's like it's still brand new, but it can't be sold and in brand new condition because there might be issues with it. Like this here, for example, here's a brand new copy of, well, I opened it already, but Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. As you can see, it's dinged a little bit right there, a little bit right there, scratched or kind of sliced a little bit right there. So it's not like a perfect brand new game, but it's still a brand new game. So this was $48. Typically they'll have like a bunch of they kind of have everything discounted, and they also have stuff from like Target and other stores as well too. But I did see this and I was like, I actually legitimately have wanted that game, and it's pretty much 20% off. So yes, so I decided to pick it up. So was happy with that there. Persona 5 Royal. You know, I've been wanting Persona 5 on Switch in general for so long. Like, not even just, like, wanting to pick this up. Like, back when Persona 5 came out on PS3 and PS4, I was playing a bit of it on PS4, and I was really getting into the Switch at the time, and I was like, man, this game would be perfect on Switch, and I'm so happy they ended up releasing Royal, and from what I can tell, it's actually a pretty good port as well too, so very happy with that. All in all, I did want to pick this up, but you know, I've picked it up. I had it on PS. I've gotten this game a few times. Like, I think I have the base version through a collector's edition on PS4. I also have that same version. They gave it to us through like the PS Plus collection. So digitally, I have Persona 5 Royal on PS4 as well, but I've really wanted it on Switch. It was nice to have this here, so this ended up going on sale for $30. I picked it up. And finally, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, a game that came out, didn't hear too much about it, but I did hear good things about it overall. And I believe this one was $15, so I said, you know what, for $15, I don't mind picking that up. I didn't get too many things for Black Friday, because actually there's only going to be a few other items here I got for Black Friday, which you can probably tell which ones they are, because it just seemed like this year for 2022, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I don't know, it didn't seem like there was as many like super wowing gaming deals. Even like the deals I got here, like they were games that I was happy with, but it wasn't like killer prices. Like I would say like Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, that was a pretty good deal, but it's like, you know, I guess Persona 5 Royal, I expected that to be half off. Bayonetta 3, you know, surprised with that, but 15 off, I'll take it. $10 off for that. So it wasn't like super deep discounts. But even here's another thing, getting into it, I only picked up one PS5 game, as you can see, and ended up being this here. So funny enough, I actually picked this up originally through Best Buy. And initially when I bought my games through Best Buy, I ended up keeping them sealed. Because I've talked about this, if you followed, you know, this show for a few years, typically I'll bring up GameFly and their Black Friday deals. GameFly is awesome. I love GameFly's deals because, yes, it is the game rental service where it's like you pay a certain amount of dollars per month for 1 or 2 or 3 games to rent out at a time. They send you the disc or the cartridge in the mail. You play it. When you're done with it, you send it back in the mail. And it's prepaid and all that stuff. However, they also, it's not just disc only. If you decide to keep a game or even buy a game there, and you don't have to be a member, like an active subscriber of GameFly, you can just have an account on there. But they do have deals as well too, and they'll kind of regularly have deals throughout the year from what I see, but they usually have some good Black Friday deals going on. So I like them because what they do is you are buying a used product. However, the case, the artwork, the manual, and the DLC codes, they keep all that stuff. Like, they keep it at their warehouses. So when you buy one of their games, the disc itself is used, but everything else is still brand new and untouched, except it's not in cellophane. So it is a used copy of a game, but it is a complete and pretty good condition used copy of a game. And if you ever have issues with it, you can always just reach out to GameFly, and historically they've been pretty good. And that's why I actually wanted to bring this up as well too. I was waiting for this. This was the last item I was waiting for. Originally, I picked this up from Best Buy for $25. I was disappointed, though, in all honesty, with this year's Black Friday deals with GameFly. There just wasn't really anything I really wanted, except Ghostwire Tokyo. I saw it on PS5 for $18. So I said, you know what, I'm going to pick it up for $18. So I picked this up for $18. I ended up returning the Best Buy version I had because it was still sealed, and I was able to, you know, get that refunded. The thing is, though, I also want to share this because, as you can see, I was a little bit disappointed where, look at this. So looking at the bottom of this case, this is how a PS4 or PS5 case should look. The top of it, I'm not really sure what happened here, but it's not as shiny. Like, it obviously got scuffed up or something, and it's also cracking as well too. So what I did was I just reached out to GameFly support, and as easy as can be, I reached out to them. I sent them a message on there saying, hey, I end up getting my copy of Ghostwire that I purchased, and I noticed that the case is cracked up at the top. And, you know, they did their greeting and all that, and funny enough, I was actually away. I think I was, like, using the bathroom or something. But by the time I got back to the chat, they literally said hello to me. They said, hey, we're going to review what you sent us. They looked at my message, and then they said, we'll send you out a new case. So that's as easy as it is. And that's why I'm saying, even if you do have issues, like, I'm trying to kind of pitch this to people who have issues with buying used. Even if you do have issues like that, just contact GameFly. They'll get you sorted. If there's something missing, if the disc is messed up, if the case is messed up here, they'll get you sorted. So GameFly, aside from me personally being kind of disappointed with their lack of deals this year, or just, you know, not really seeing as much as I was expecting on there, aside from that, they still have that awesome customer service, so I can appreciate that. Now, I did get 2 other games from Best Buy through the Black Friday stuff. I ended up getting these right here, which these ones I haven't even opened yet. But I got the Daiichi Steelbook edition of Like a Dragon. Well, Yakuza Like a Dragon. I've heard nothing but good things about this game. Never played it. So I decided to pick this up here. Heard just fantastic things about this overall. Now, this was $20, I want to say. And the cool thing is, apparently, there is now a PS5 build of Like a Dragon. And if you have the PS4 version, you're entitled to a free upgrade. So I am going to be playing the PS5 version of this game, but I ended up getting the PS4 version that with the steelbook and everything, you know, for $20, which I was pretty happy with. And lastly, I also end up getting Doom Eternal. I have not picked up or played this game until now. Obviously, still haven't played it because look at it, it's still wrapped. This was $10. I've seen this go on sale many times, but $10, super low price for it, brand new. And as you can see right there, PS5 upgrade available. And I believe it is a free upgrade as well too. So yet again, another PS4 game where I will be playing the PS5 version of it. For $10, I have no complaints right there. Now we're getting into some of the other fun stuff right here. So I ended up going to a bit of an event. It was kind of like, I guess, a swap meet type thing. And it was myself, one of my good friends, and his wife. We all went, we were hanging out there, and they had like a lot of clothing and stuff that they were selling and a lot of other wares. And they had some sellers that were selling video game stuff. I think I'm going to get to these at the end because it was all kind of together. But first of all, I ended up going to one guy, and this was, you know, not in like the best shape, but it was complete at least. I had this game back in the day, sold it like an idiot, wanted to pick it back up. So Ridge Racer on PSP, I paid $10 for it. Fantastic game, by the way. Definitely recommend this if you have never played it. It is a fantastic game, but very happy with it. Lily, you wanna smell Ridge Racer? You're not impressed with? She's not. Oh, she's not impressed with Ridge Racer. Unbelievable. So I ended up paying $10 for that. After this event as well, too, don't worry, I'm going to get to this very close. After this event, we actually ended up going to a thrift store as well, too. And wouldn't you know, this is the second time this has happened at the same type of thrift store. I ended up going to a Savers. And I found in like their office supply area, this brand new 10-pack of verbatim DVD plus R dual layer discs, which are fantastic for burning Xbox 360 backups on. Found this for $5. I was shocked with that. Something like this happened. It was like a few years ago, I ended up picking a 20-pack, brand new, a 20-pack of these from Savers, not the same location, but from Savers for like $3 or $4, and they were in the kitchen area. So I've harped on this a few times, but if you're going to thrift stores and all that, and just if you see some blank media, be on the lookout for it, you know? I'll just give the TLDR real quick so I don't get into it all too much, but in short, you know, if you do mess with modded consoles or anything, and you do want to mess with or need to have burned media on hand, the older dead stock of burned media is better than the new stuff that is out there. The new stuff that is being pressed today is just not as good of quality as the older stuff right here. So that's why when I see like spindles of blank CDs, blank DVDs at thrift shops and they're a good price, typically I pick them up, because especially since there's not that much interest in them, sometimes they will want to price gouge you. Like you might see somebody sell, I don't know, a 20 pack of blank DVDs for like 20 bucks. But there's been times I have bought like 100 packs of blank DVDs, like Sony brand blank DVDs, for like $2 or $3. So just be on the lookout if you're, in case you're ever interested, as a just in case type thing. So there we go. Now, probably my favorite pickup here out of everything, all the PS1 games, right? So there was one vendor who he had a lot of stuff out there, and we end up coming late to this event, right? We end up going there kind of late, and he had just had a bunch of video game stuff, and I think, honestly, nice guy, but honestly, his problem with selling was that he didn't have prices on any of his items. He was very much like, hey, I have all this stuff, I kind of pulled it out of storage, make me an offer. And that doesn't really do as well at some of these events, especially with this one right here. So I feel like if he physically put prices on his items, he would have been able to move more, but he was barely moving anything from what I could tell. So what happened was I was looking around and I saw this immediately and I was like, yo, long box Resident Evil, that's awesome. And he's like, yeah, I have a few of these long box games, I'd like to sell them all together. I don't really want to sell them like one by one, make me an offer, man. Just make me an offer, just make me an offer of some kind. So he kind of like grouped them all together. He's like, yeah, if possible, I'd like to sell them all. And then I was talking to him a little bit about selling these, and I was like, yeah, I've sold like long box PS1 games. And he was saying, yeah, I'd like to sell them here. I don't want to ship them. And I told him, I understand. Like, these long box PS1 games, they are just big enough where they are super annoying to ship. And, he was agreeing with me on that. So we were talking a bit, and I was kind of eyeing it. And, like, there was games that I wanted here, obviously. But I said, I'll think about it. And he was even saying, he's like, make an offer. I was like, I'll think about it. So I was looking around. We looked around a bit. We were still hanging out for about an hour. And as we were going back, my friend, because I told him, I was like, hey, I kind of want to go back to the PS1 guy. And I go over there, and my friend just like, he kind of, before we approach a counter, he's just like, hey man, throw him an offer of $10. And I was like, I don't want to be insulting is the problem, right? But I understand what you mean. So I go over and I'm looking at the PS1 games. Obviously he hasn't moved them. I think this event was closing in like an hour, and you could tell he was getting like a little bit antsy. Still like a nice guy, don't get me wrong, like super nice guy, but he was just trying to move stuff. His story, from what I understand, is like, I guess he just had a lot of this stuff in storage and he was just trying to sell it, and he didn't really want to put it online. He didn't want to ship it to a bunch of places. He more just wanted stuff gone. Like, he told me, because you can see like these were originally purchased in like a Goodwill in Denver. So I asked about that. He said, yeah, I bought these, like, I used to live in Denver and I bought all these at a Goodwill, and I tried a little bit to fix them up, but it was a little bit hard to, and I've just had them in storage for like 10 years, so I kind of just want to get rid of them. So he had a few things. He had these PS1 games, and I'll also show you these as well too. Like, they're not in like the greatest shape. I'm gonna say that. Like, look, so you can hear Resident Evil is it's already clattering around a little bit. Like, yep. So there's that. So like the artwork is coming up on these a bit. But like, for example, Resident Evil, I do need to mess with this. My copy, I used to have one of these. It had the exact same issue. It's complete, as you can see. It's complete, but the case doesn't close properly. Killik, this is probably the best condition one right here. Not much else to say on that. Kingsfield, this is kind of a twofer, right? So the front is Kingsfield. As you can see, it has two manuals. It has Warhawk and it has the Kingsfield manual in there. And then in here is Kingsfield and Warhawk, but I don't have the back for Kingsfield. I have Warhawk, the back for Warhawk, so that's why I got two games in there. Ballerina Toshinden, I want to show you all this, because I had this as well too. I had this same version back years ago, and I don't know where, like, I had these two games, by the way. these two games, Ballerino Toshin 2, Resident Evil 2, I had these long boxes. I don't know where the hell they are. I don't know where the hell they went to. So I'm so happy to have them back. But check this out. It's rated T, right? The disc says KA. I always found that even the manual says T. I think that is the real rating of the game. But apparently, big shout out to, I guess, you know, a guy I consider a friend on here, Game Rave TV. I asked him about this, and he said, yeah, you know, it's happened with a few games. I think it was just kind of a mix-up that went with the artwork. I also got Criticom, which this one is complete as well, too, I believe. I've heard some people say that this was not a good game, but it even has, you know, the foam in here. And check this out. It was even from Fresno at one point. Actually, I'm going to take... This is what I'm going to do. Just because I care about Resident Evil the most, I'm actually going to take this out of here. I'm going to move this over to Resident Evil. There we go. I know that's not like original, but that's the game I probably care about the most out of all this bundle. And then Jumping Flash, a game that I have played, but I do not own until now. This one's complete as well, too. So I'm just showing you like a range of that, right? So... they're not like these cases. You can see they're kind of falling apart. They're not really in the best shape. They're a little bit rough. And there's not too much else I can do with them really, like in terms of fixing them, because these are like this is the artwork. I'm touching the artwork. This is a case, but this is the artwork right here, you know? So kind of the issues of that. Either way, I was looking at all this, and I'm leading up to this, right? I know some people are probably just asking for the price. I've been leading up to it. I've been building it up. So this guy, you can tell he's just a little bit antsy, and he's like, hey man, just make me a deal. I was like, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. He's like, you're thinking about getting those long boxes? I was like, yeah, you know, I'm thinking about it. He's like, you know, there's some good, you know, you could even, you know, you could even take like Resident Evil, and you can sell that. Like, it's not like in the best shape, but like you can sell that. That is like, even in like bad shape, like a $60-$80 game, you know, you can, they're like Jumping Flash, and he's trying to sell these to me as a, like, to resell. And I told him, I was like, no, man, like, these are games, like, if I buy them, I'm gonna keep them. I respect it, but I'm not interested in reselling these if I buy them. He's like, oh, okay, that's cool. And he just kept telling me, he said, you know, they're kind of scratched and all that, and just unfortunately, like, I think they work, but I can't guarantee it. I don't have a PS1 to test these games on, unfortunately. I said, you know, that's all good. They look good. They look all right for the most part, and I can verify I've actually ripped all of them. I've backed them all up so they can read just fine. None of them have issues reading, thank goodness. So then he was kind of just putting the games together. He's stacking them up. He's like, you know, if you want to get these, I'm just trying to get rid of it. I'll even take like $40. And I was like, yes. Not even going to negotiate that. Yes. So to recap here, for all of these, so these 5 games, so Jumping Flash, Criticom, Ballerina Toshinden 2, Resident Evil, Killik, these 5 are complete. And then I end up getting here kind of a half and half. So half of them are complete. I got Warhawk and Kingsfield in here, which actually Warhawk, I could get one of these cases, because I know they sell these third party. I can get one of these cases and, like, I guess, complete it. There we go. So end up getting a couple games here that are incomplete for the most part, but kind of sorta. So all of those for $40. I was shocked. Like, after I got this, I had shown a picture of this to my girlfriend. I sent it to her, and I was like, hey, look, all right, just I want you to realize how good of a deal this was. Real quick, look up online how much Resident Evil PS1 long box goes for. And now look at this picture and see I got all this for $40. And she did that, and she's like, oh my, like she freaked out. She's like, oh my God, like that, even like in bad shape, this goes for a somewhat good amount. I was like, yeah, no, all of this here. And I was very happy with it, because again, these are like, I've actually kind of wanted Jumping Flash. I've wanted to get back my Resident Evil 2. I missed having Ballerina Toshinden 2. Kingsfield, yo, I'm gonna say, Kingsfield's not a good game. I have Warhawk already. Killik, haven't heard of this. I think I have Criticom already. But Kingsfield, I actually shared in an episode of Mod Chat years ago. I was with, shout out to Devin or Paranoid Coder, and shout out to, I believe, WC Anyways. He was the one who asked on stream. He asked if there's ever been a game we played that was just like so bad, or like what one of our worst games was. And I straight up said, Kingsfield, this game was so bad, I bought it from like a used game shop for like $6 back in the day, took it home, played it, disliked it so much, I had my mom drive me back to the shop to return it, and they said, we don't typically return games if there's nothing wrong with them. If there was a defect, we would. However, because we know you, because you're a loyal customer, because we're cool with you, because you've never done this before, it must be a bad game, we will let you return this. And I got something else and I enjoyed it much more. That's the effect it had on me. Either way, $40 for all that. I was ecstatic with it. Just could not believe the deal. And it was just right person, right time, right place. I guess that's how it went. So I was talking to the guy and I said, yes, I'm going to get these. $40, all good. Now, he also had some other things as well, too, at the table. He had, because he was just, again, he was really trying to just get rid of stuff at that point. So he had a PS2 box. And he was like, hey, man, I see you like PS2. Do you have one of these? Do you have a PS2 box? And unfortunately, it was just the blue PS2 box, which I don't own one. I have a GameCube box that came with a console. I have an Xbox box. I don't have a PS2 box. I've never owned a PS2 box. So I'd like one at one point. But the problem was, it wasn't really in the best shape. It didn't have anything in it. And I asked how much he wanted for it. He said $10. And I was like, if you throw it in with the PS1 stuff, I'll take it. And he's like, no, I can't do that. I said, I'm sorry. I have to draw the line somewhere. No, like, it's cool, but like if there was stuff in there, like if there was manuals and stuff, I would take it. But if it's just like a rough condition box alone, I gotta draw the line. Me personally, I'm not gonna bring that home. And he also saw I was kind of eyeing a copy of like, pretend this is it, I was eyeing a copy of like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on the table. And he was like, yeah, man, that one's, I know it's really, really scratched, but it's complete. It has the manual, it has the case, it has everything. I don't have a PS2 to test it on. And I looked at the disc, and the bottom of the disc was scratched, but the problem was, and this is kind of a lesson to you all as well too, so this is kind of what happened, right? So the bottom of the disc, in this case, this is perfect, but like, let's say it was scratched up. The bottom, unless it's like a gouge, it can be resurfaced. However, I noticed at the top, there was scratches that were like going through the label. And unfortunately, if they're going through the label, that data is gone. And you can verify that by also taking your disc, and if you hold it up to a light source like that, and if you can see through, then like here you can kind of see through, but if you can like clearly see through the disc itself, then that data is toast, unfortunately. So I did that with the San Andreas, and I was like, yeah, that game's toast. So even if I refurbish it, you can't get data. Once data is gone, you can't put that data back on the disc, So he saw me kind of eyeing that, looking at it, and he was like, I know it's scratched up, but you could resell that. And I was like, no, because it's toast, unfortunately. And he was like, okay, what if I give you San Andreas with the PS2 box, $10? Will you take that? I said, unfortunately, I still can't take that. Again, I gotta draw the line somewhere with that, like the PS2 box, and also the San Andreas, the disc itself is ruined, unfortunately. And he said it was scratched, and I don't think he was really paying attention, but I kind of tried to educate him on that. I was like, look, man, I'll show you. Take the disc, let's hold it up to the light. The data is gone on this. Like, even if you give this to someone who has a disc resurfacer, that data is gone. But either way, I said, I'll take all this. And he was asking like, hey, do you need any Super Nintendo games? You need Nintendo games? I was like, no. This is what I want. This is my happy place. So I'm all good. So this was just an unbelievable deal. If you follow me on like Instagram and Twitter, I posted up on there and people were raving about it. But yeah, that's why it's taken so long. And there was some world building there, because it's just unbelievable to get this here in 2022, but so happy to get these back. Anyways, that is about it for this episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. I hope you all enjoyed watching. I hope it was an enjoyable viewing overall, and I hope you watching are able to finish out the rest of 2022 strong. I really do wish you a good rest of 2022, and I hope you have a great new year. Seriously, I do. I also hope that you come back next year, so, we'll do some more pickups and all that stuff. But this is going to be the last pickups video of 2022. I think it's especially with this, man, this is a very good way to end it off. Anyways, as I always say, if you enjoyed this video, a like would absolutely be appreciated. If you didn't like it, a dislike is fine as well too. But if you dislike the video, which I'm giving you the freedom to do that, you're gonna make this sleeping dog very, very sad. Lily, go back to sleep. You're sad. You go back to sleep. You're sad. We need you to be sad for the. We need you to be sad for the video. Go to sleep. 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 Okay.